How's it going?
How was it out there today at USD on the field and everything?
It was cool. First time down to the campus, and obviously we know how special this place is, and I thought it was really cool to take the time to come down here and practice and have an opportunity to get after it.
Did Coach Harbaugh tell any stories in the meetings about his time at USD or anything like that?
Not yet. I think that's something we'll have to press him on, so maybe that's coming, but I know he's got a bunch, so we'll see. It was good.
I think the practice was the first one in pads.
I thought it was good as well.
And has Keandre been impressing you at all? It looked like he had a couple nice catches in 1v1s and throughout the day.
Yeah, I think he's done a really good job. He's picked up the offense and, missed some time in OTAs, but, has done a good job since then, just rehabbing, doing everything he can to get back out there. And, he's a special player, and that's kind of what we saw on film. So it's really good to have him out there.
Is there anything about him that stands out to you, things he does on the field?
Yeah, I mean, it is early, but he makes plays, and for the short time that we've been able to throw the ball together, he's done a really good job. And like I said, he picked up the offense really quickly, and he's one of those guys. You just got to get him the ball, find a way to make him. He's going to go out there and make a play. So just got to look for him.
Is the gold jersey still uncomfortable for you?
It's just a jersey.
Yeah. With Quentin, just seems like he's making a good number of plays here. A couple touchdowns yesterday, a couple touchdowns today. Just from his first year to now, where have you seen him grow in his game?
Yeah, I think he's added so much to his game. Where he's just so talented and so gifted, and he works incredibly hard, and he's picked up everything, and he's learned from all the guys that have been in that room with Keenan and with Mike and Ladd and all those guys that he's added so much to his game where it's not just a deep threat or it's not just a yards after catch. He's a guy that can do everything, and I think that's really what we've seen so far in camp with him.
Just following up on Quentin, just a camp like this or a start like this where he's making plays, especially like down the field, tracking the ball, does it build trust when you are able to connect, in training camp? And if so, like how much trust can be built at this time?
Yeah, I think it's really important. I think we always talk about the timing you get with receivers, and during OTAs and during camp, and just getting out there and getting a feeling for how they run routes and where they're going to be. And when a certain play is called, you're expecting a guy to be in a certain spot, and Q has done such a great job of getting to that and knowing exactly what he needs to do. And we're learning from each other of how we can play best together. And I think that's been really good to see from him. And I know he's having fun, and he's always dangerous when he's having fun.
Justin, did you get a chance to see Phillips' Charger retirement video? And if so, what did you think of it, and what do you think he means to this organization?
I have not seen the video, but obviously we know how talented and how special and how much he's meant to this organization. I grew up watching him, and the amount of respect that I have for him as a teammate, leader, quarterback, father. He's done everything, and he's the prime example, and he's what every quarterback should want to look forward to being and doing everything he can to be.
The history of this team in this town, coming back here and kind of reconnecting with this part of the fan base, what's it like from your perspective?
I think it's really cool. Kind of like I talked about earlier, it's a special place, and I think the community, and unfortunately I didn't get to experience it, but I've heard stories. I knew how special this place was, and to be able to come back and just go practice even, I thought it was a really cool experience.
Just curious, your experience on being on an aircraft carrier, and what do you think that experience is going to be like later tonight?
I have no idea. I think it's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we don't get too close to the edge, but I think it'll be a fun experience.
With the tight end room, obviously you've had a lot of experience and success with various tight ends, starting your rookie year with Hunter and Gerald, Jared Cook, all those guys. But just to have a room that has this kind of depth where you not only have Will, you have Tyler and Arande, what do you think it's going to do for the offense, and just how much more comfortable does it make you to have three different tight ends that can make plays in the passing game?
Yeah, and I think those are three guys that can do everything as well. It's run block and pass blocking when we ask them to, and going out and catching passes. And I think having three guys like that who continue to push each other and are great teammates, great leaders. I'm really excited. It's only going to help us as an offense, and the things that we're going to ask them to do, they can handle it, and they're going to be top tier guys. And I'm really looking forward to getting them the ball.
Justin, Coach Harbaugh described Ladd as unguardable. How does your chemistry with him continue to evolve going into the second season?
Yeah, I think he's the perfect combination of athleticism and intelligence, and the way he understands the game of football and how he sees defenses, I think that's kind of what makes him like that. He's just got a great understanding of how people are going to try and guard him and where leverage is and just the way to break it. And so, he's done such a great job with the quarterbacks of just being friendly and always being in the right spot. So it's been huge to see.
With those reps, has it been easier to start to read his body language even more?
I think he came into the league like that. That's why he was so good and why he's done such a great job. And he's been friendly from the get-go, and that's one of the things I've really appreciated from him.
What have you seen so far from Trey Harris now that he's back in camp?
Yeah, same thing. He's a playmaker. He runs really crisp routes, and he's picked up the offense well too. And you know that when you go out there, he's going to run the right route, and you don't have to worry about that. And sometimes that's a thing with rookies, and it's not with them. They both picked it up, and Sanjay's really getting after him too. And so it's been really good to see from both of those receivers.
You're close to cracking the top 100 career passing yards this season. I know you are more about the team, but what would 12-year-old Justin feel about cracking that list?
Yeah, he probably wouldn't believe it, but I think that's a cool thing, and I think about all the guys that have helped me get there, all the receivers, tight ends, running backs, and unfortunately, I think I've completed one to Storm Norton, but yeah, those guys they've got me there, and it's not just a single effort; it's all those guys. So I appreciate all the things that they did.
The push to get this team back to the playoffs for 2 straight seasons. I don't think you guys have done that since 2007 and 8. How laser focused are you on that goal?
Yeah, we're excited for the opportunity. Obviously it didn't end the way that we wanted it to last year, and took a long, hard look at it, and we have to do our best to learn from it, and continue to move forward and not let that one affect us again. So, this season everyone's shown up, done a great job working hard, and we're really looking forward to the opportunity.
Everybody was very excited when you guys drafted Amari, and just what have you kind of seen from him in this short time, mini camp, and then now with the start of training camp? What have you kind of seen in his game?
Yeah, I think it's always tough, when you don't have the pads on. But for the first day today, you can tell he's incredibly physical. He's very talented, very gifted, and he too has picked up the offense really well. And you can tell that running back room has really done a great job of getting in the protections, run games, pass game. You don't have to worry, and so that's a great start. We've got a lot of time left, and I know I was going to continue to work, continue to learn everything he can, and just got to find ways to get him the ball and let him go do what he does.
You just need to know how fast he is and how that might play in terms of stretching the field, home run threat, and all that kind of thing.
I'm unsure. I think he's one of those guys, and especially if you ask the scouts and the guys from the front office, they'd tell you, he's got the speed, he's got the size, the strength. He's everything you want in a running back, and so we just have to do a good job of getting him lined up and getting him the ball in places where he can go make something happen.
A little ways down the line, but what do you make of the opportunity to open the season up in Brazil?
I'm excited for it. I think it'll be a cool opportunity. I've only been out of the country once, never to play a football game, but I think we'll do a good job. With scheduling and everything so that we're at our best come game time. But it's an exciting opportunity for sure.
Things gone with Zion, a couple practices so far in camp with him at center.
Yeah, he's done a great job picking up the offense, and he's a really smart ball player. And you have to be at the center position, and he's got a great mindset with that, and having a guy like him and Bose both go back and forth, it's only going to help us, because adversity is going to happen, and you never hope for a guy to be out, but to have two guys like that, it makes your offense feel more comfortable.
With snapping, is there like a conversation that you have with a center about like where exactly you want the ball when you're in shotgun or even under center? Like, is that a conversation you have, or is it sort of just kind of a standard operating procedure as far as where the center puts the ball?
Yeah, I would say more so in the gun. I think it's important just to be able to get the ball in a window where you can do something with it. Under center, you kind of have to adjust to each of the centers because everyone's going to be a little different, size-wise and where the ball is going to be placed. But he's been great in both, so there's been no issue, and Bose has been solid as well.
Justin, last year you had the chance to practice in front of Armed Forces at Camp Pendleton here today, and I was speaking to a couple of them, and they were mentioning how much they appreciate the Chargers for hooking them up to be able to witness you guys here at training camp. When you hear them say that, what does that mean to you as a player, them being so excited to see you?
I think it's really cool, and it kind of gives me a different perspective where sometimes I think this is just practice, and I just show up and I go out and practice, and it means a lot to a lot of people. And sometimes it's refreshing to see that, it's not just practice. It's an opportunity to go play football, to hang out with it and come together as, a community. So to be able to share it down here, especially in front of great fans and crowds in the San Diego community, it's time to kind of take a step back and breathe it in, I guess.
Does it kind of help getting away? Like last year you guys went to UNC Charlotte, kind of got away from everything for a little bit. Does this kind of help maybe get away a little bit? The teams under the same roof, you guys are kind of all hanging out and stuff. Does that kind of help during the dog days of training camp? Yeah,
I think it could. I think it's early in camp, so I don't think anyone is too stressed right now. But I think it's always great to be hanging with your guys, your locker room buddies, and it's a great opportunity for us to get better as a football team. The Chargers have always done such a great job of providing us with everything that we need. We're at a great hotel where we got a great facility here, and we can do everything we can at our facility, which is second to none as well. So it's very fortunate that we're able to kind of deal with those things.
I'll go back to Quentin for 1 second. Over the weekend when we talked to him, he mentioned that you were somebody that he sort of leaned on as far as like instilling in him that he belongs here at this level. Do you recall any conversations you've had with him about that specifically, or just words of encouragement that you've given him over your 3 years together that you think might have resonated?
I wouldn't say anything specifically, but I think just in general, as teammates and people that share the field together, and we fight with each other all the time of going out there, not fight like between us, but like we go into games and we fight together. We're on the same side, and he's just my brother. We go out there and it's not always going to go our way, but I know that he's got my back just like I got his back, and at the end of the day, I can count on him for sure.
This time of year, every team thinks they have a chance to win the Super Bowl. What makes this team a legitimate Super Bowl contender?
I think we're continuing to work. We're doing everything we can, offensively, defensively, and you got the right pieces out there. Just got to go put them together.